Hello, everyone, and happy Hanukkah for those of my Jewish friends. I thought that this year would be a great reason to share what Hanukkah is all about. While I've been in teaching, I've mostly been in areas where there are students without faith, students of the Christian faith, or just students who only know about Christmas and don't really have a faith per se, but know that this is the time of year where they get presents. I even had a coworker who, when I sneezed, wished me Mazel Tov. He meant well, and I love him for meaning well. But now, here's some education about Hanukkah at least. Let's start with a particularly excellent video that I found.
Today we're going to learn how to light a Hanukkah menorah. Here's our menorah. It has 8 branches representing the 8 different nights of Hanukkah, and we have an extra one called a shamash, which we're going to use to light the rest of the candles. There are many different types of menorahs out there, so you shouldn't have a tough time finding a special one for your home. One thing that's important to remember is that the menorah should be in a straight, even line, meaning it shouldn't be in a zigzag. One shouldn't be higher than the next, or in a circle. The shamash, however, specifically should be distinct from all the rest of the candles. In theory, we can use any flammable substance for the Hanukkah lights, but practically speaking, most people use candles or oil. We're going to use oil, specifically olive oil. Since the miracle was performed using olive oil, this is the most beautiful way to perform it.
You might recognize the word mitzvah from bar mitzvah. Mitzvah means a good deed. This book refers to a mitzvah being something special, where Grandma Esther and Grandma Dory give special things to neighbors and friends when their Christmas doesn't go so great.
Mitzvah. Now, where should we be lighting the menorah? As you see, we've placed ours in the doorway leading to the main room of the house. It's also on the left side, opposite to the mezuzah.
Many cultures hold beliefs about protecting their home from evil. If you want to see a very good list, go to scribble.com/anthropology and history/18 ways to protect your home from evil spirits. Number 5 happens to be the mezuzah. The mezuzah has a prayer written inside in Hebrew that, when rolled up, shows a name of God. It is placed in wax paper to protect it, and then inside of the mezuzah. The mezuzah is then affixed to the upper third of the right-hand side of the main door of the house, and that should ward off evil spirits from entering the home.
There's a couple different customs, one being to place it near a window, other people place it at the front door. Either way, it should be between 1 and 3 feet off the ground. On the first night, we light 1 candle, placing it on the far right of the menorah. Then we fill it up with oil. We light our shamash. We'll now say our blessings and then light the first candle. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Hanukkah.
Translation: Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu, bayamim hahem bizman hazeh.
Translation Part 2. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who performed miracles for our forefathers in those days at this time.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, לנו לזמן הזה.
Translation Part 3. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has granted us life, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this occasion.
On the second night, we light 2 flames. Again, we place our first light to the far right, but this time we add another candle immediately to the left. On the second night, and all subsequent nights, we only say the first 2 blessings. Now this is important. We light the newly added flame first. This means that we light in the opposite direction that we placed them. The lighting of the menorah follows the same pattern every night. So on the 8th night, we light 8 flames. Again, we add the candles from the right to the left, and then light from the left to the right, with the newest candle being lit first. So when do we light the candles? The custom of many communities is to light the menorah shortly after sunset. In other communities, the menorah is kindled after nightfall. Either way, the menorah must contain enough fuel to burn for at least 30 minutes after nightfall. The standard Hanukkah candles only last approximately 30 minutes. If using those candles, then light after nightfall. You can light even later, as long as other people in the house are awake to see. On Friday, however, you must light the menorah before sunset, because you can no longer light the menorah once it has already become Shabbat.
Because the Jewish calendar uses the lunar calendar, our holidays begin at nightfall. So instead of Sunday being our Sabbath or Shabbat, Friday night to Saturday night is our Shabbat, Sabbath.
For the same reason, you have to wait until after nightfall on Saturday night, when Shabbat is over, before you light the menorah. Both men and women are obligated to participate in the candle lighting, but different communities have different customs. Some communities have the custom that every man, woman, and child will light their own menorah, while other communities have the custom where the head of the household will light while everybody is present. And that's it.
So, in the website Scribble, where I found our 18 ways to protect your home from evil spirits, the category was anthropology and history. Learning about the Jewish menorah lighting was the anthropology, but now let's take it back to the historical roots of this holiday. During a long time ago, when Hellenist Syrian Emperor Antiochus Epiphanes, I can't even pronounce that, overtook the temple and Israel, they desecrated the temples, which we call synagogues, and they introduced Greek idols to a temple that was meant for the one true God. The Maccabees, who are a tribe of Jews, decided to rebel against these emperor and his people. And that's when they went out into the desert. They found that they only had a little tiny amount of oil, and they expected it would only last through the night. Little did they know this was miraculous oil, and it lasted for 8 nights. And that's the story of Hanukkah. And that's why we eat fried foods, because of the oil that they use to light the oil lamps and such things as that. Well, having known our culture and the history behind it, now let's bring it to present day with The Miracle of Enough, an article from the Hartford Courant on Thursday of this past week. And it was written by a rabbi, Rachel Goldberg. And it talks about the miracle of enough. There was only a little bit of oil, but it was enough oil. And when kids are wanting more and more presents, they need to know when enough is enough. And they need to know what else they can do to prove enough is enough. I want to show you a picture of some presents that I bought for this season. There is 19 presents, 2 birthdays, about 7 or 8 different Hanukkah presents and the rest Christmas presents because I have family in both, although I am Jewish. And I want you to remind yourselves and remind your students, your children, that this time of year can be enough to just be around the family you have. Look at some great causes like the goodpeoplefund.org, which was designed from the Mitzvah Project. And look at what else good you can do. Volunteer at soup kitchens, learn about other cultures, and that sort of thing. I hope you enjoyed learning about my religion, and I hope you join your neighbors in their Hanukkah celebrations and have a happy Christmas if you're so inclined. Thanks, and remember to subscribe.
It's time for Hanukkah. So much Hanukkah to celebrate. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of one day of presents, we get 8 presents. When you feel like the only kid in town without a Christmas tree, here's a list of people who are Jewish, just like you and me. David Leroy, Lightstone Menorah, so do James Caan, Kirk Douglas, and the Weasel Pauly Shora. Dance always together at the Carnegie Deli. Bowser from Shanana, and other